prepared. Why things feel off lately is no longer a mystery, because the new moon has already passed. The shift has begun. What you're feeling now is not chaos, it's recalibration. The super new moon in Cancer has already opened the door, and even though it has quietly reached its peak, hidden in the dark sky, its effects are just beginning to ripple through your life. If you feel confused, emotional, heavy, or wake up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason, you're not alone. You're not lost. You're adapting. This month wasn't just a lunar phase, it was a spiritual turning point. And now, in its wake, your system is responding. Old emotional codes are dissolving. The delicate karmic knots that have been tied throughout lifetimes are finally unraveling on their own. That uncomfortable feeling? It's not confusion. It's your soul emerging from a familiar prison. Soon, I'll explain why the next 48 hours after this new moon are so critical. Stay tuned, because knowing how to respond to these experiences could change the entire game. Before we go into this, I want you to do 3 things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave the number 777 in the comments. You can also share it with someone you want to benefit from this video and support their spiritual awakening. Now let's go deeper. The new moon has passed, but you haven't left its influence. In fact, what you're feeling now is the activation settling into your body, the vibration deepening into your cells. The sky may be quiet, but something sacred is still unfolding beneath the surface. You are not the same as you were just days ago, and your body knows it, even if your mind hasn't caught up. This is the shadow between breath and voice, the moment after intention but before manifestation. This is where the real alchemy happens. Many people are trying to return to normal. They'll push through, go back to routines, ignore the subtle inner shifts, and wonder why everything still feels misaligned. But if you're listening, if your dreams have turned strange, your sleep restless, your heart more tender than usual, then you know the new moon didn't end. It just entered you. You are now carrying it forward, letting it work from within. You may feel heavy, even though there's nothing physically wrong. You may cry over a song, forget what day it is, or find yourself staring at the sky for no reason. You may feel like the world is happening too fast, while you're moving through honey. That's not depression. It's energetic recalibration. When Cancer opens, it floods the system with memory. Not just mental memory, but emotional, cellular, ancestral. There are feelings rising now that do not belong only to you. You're purging grief you didn't know you carried, mourning stories your lineage never got to finish, and reclaiming parts of yourself that were buried beneath survival. The moon in Cancer stirs the deepest roots of our being. And when that moon is new, hidden, and near Earth, its pull becomes gravitational, spiritual, inescapable. You might feel a need to be alone, to cocoon, to rest without reason. Follow that instinct. The noise of the world right now isn't compatible with the level of inner work taking place. This is not a time for clarity, it's a time for honesty. You're not supposed to have answers yet. You're supposed to have presence. That's how you meet the new timeline. That's how you step into it, not by force, but by softness. While the moon called you inward, Mercury climbed high in the sky. The planet of thought, language, and perception reached its peak visibility just after the lunation. And that contrast is why everything feels confusing, your soul is whispering, your mind is racing, and your body just wants to rest. But here's the truth. They're all trying to align. Mercury isn't just stimulating your brain, it's trying to translate what your emotional body has unearthed. That's why your thoughts feel louder, faster, or more intrusive than usual. It's not just mental noise, it's an attempt at meaning-making, Let the thoughts pass through, but don't let them carry you away. Listen deeper beneath the thoughts where the quiet truths live. This energy can make the world feel distant, surreal, even dreamlike. Time may blur. People around you might feel harder to connect with or strangely detached. This is the in-between. This is what it feels like when one version of you is dissolving and the next hasn't yet landed. You're not failing, you're becoming. You're between lifetimes within a single life. And that requires rest, release, and reverence. Give yourself space to not know. Give yourself permission to let go. In these days, following the new moon, nothing is solid yet. Everything is in flux, which means it's the most powerful time to set intentions, not from the head, but from the heart. Don't write goals. Speak truths. Don't plan outcomes. Plant frequencies. Say to yourself gently, I am ready to feel again. I am safe to soften. I welcome what aligns with my soul's highest path. Speak these not to the sky, but into your own body. That's where the new moon lives now. In your heartbeat, in your lungs, in your willingness to begin again. Sleep may still evade you. That's all right. The light codes moving through your nervous system may not allow deep rest, but what they offer instead is insight. Those quiet hours when the mind stops performing and starts revealing. If you find yourself awake at strange times, don't fight it. Let that stillness be your classroom. Write what comes. Feel what surfaces. There is wisdom woven into the quiet. The ancestors often speak in these hours, not with words, but with warmth, sensation, memory. You'll know them when they come. Some of you may be hearing that high-pitched ringing still, that tone in the ears that modern science can't explain, but ancient mystics always understood. It's not interference, it's instruction. It's the sound of subtle alignment, your auric field tuning itself to a new harmonic. Don't resist it. Don't fear it. Breathe through it and let it guide you home. The more you lean in, the more you'll hear what lies beneath it, the frequency of your own soul waking up. The days ahead may continue to feel weightless or strange. There may be moments when emotions crash over you without context, when joy arrives suddenly, then vanishes like mist. Let it all move. Don't try to hold or define it. This energy is not here to be controlled. It's here to cleanse. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are standing exactly where your soul placed you, in the residue of a moon that asked you to remember who you were before the forgetting, in the echo of a sky that whispered, "Now, child, return to yourself." The outside world will continue its pace, deadlines will arrive, conversations will continue, people will expect you to be unchanged. But within, you'll know something is different. A part of you is quieter, wiser, deeper. That's not imagination, that's embodiment. And every small moment where you choose presence over panic, intuition over logic, softness over defense, you weave that new self into reality. This moon did not simply reset the sky. It reopened a contract your soul made before it ever touched Earth. The contract to feel fully, to heal deeply, to live as more than a function, but as a frequency. You are not meant to go back to who you were. That version of you has done its work. Honor it. Thank it. Release it. What comes next may not be clear, but it will be true. And that is more than enough. Although time seems to be passing, it is actually expanding. Every hour that passes after the new moon draws you a little further away from the outside world and back into your inner world. When you wake up on the morning of June 27th, everything may seem to be in its place, but in fact, nothing is the same. Because this new moon does not make change visible, it works on your inner structure, and this process is still ongoing. On a day that seems ordinary from the outside, a knot may suddenly form in your throat, A silent song may play inside you, one you have never sung but always known. This is your soul's old side trying to find you. The doors that open after the new moon do not close immediately. In fact, they are opening now. Depth begins right here. These days, a fatigue may linger over you, but it is no longer like the stone of the early days. It is like mist, ready to dissolve, to disperse at any moment. But there is no clarity in the mist, and this should not frighten you, because the definition of clarity is changing for you. Once, clarity meant a plan. Now clarity is a feeling. You don't know why you don't want to go somewhere, but you don't go. You can't explain why you don't want to talk to someone, but you stay silent. And this intuitive inaction is part of the agreement your soul has made with the new moon. As we approach the end of June, the softening in the sky will find its counterpart in your inner realm. June 28th and 29th may feel a bit lighter energetically, but this lightness is not a superficial relief. It's more like the weight of the stone is no longer on you. You may notice that some things no longer affect you. Words, facial expressions, energies that used to trigger you, now they pass by from a distance. This is not spiritual complacency. It is the first sign of integration. The new moon energy registers itself not physically, but frequency-wise, and you can now consciously hear this recording. At the same time, there may be an interesting emotional fluctuation. Just when you think you've fully healed, an old pain may resurface, but this resurgence is not a step backward. It is the washing away of the final layer. This lunar cycle, activated by the water element, wants emotions to wash ashore and then retreat. Each wave softens a little more, goes a little deeper. So be patient with yourself. Don't assume it will end suddenly, but don't fear that it won't end either. The nature of healing is not time, but depth. The new moon energy creates waves not only on an individual level, but also on a collective level. As June 29th approaches, some people around you may become more restless, more sharp, more tense. These are the protective mechanisms they exhibit to escape their suppressed feelings that are being exposed. You are now aware their voice is not your frequency. You don't have to react. Just witness. Just stay centered. Because this new moon didn't just teach you about your emotions, it also showed you how to carry them without owning them. Mercury is still in a high position. The mental flow continues, but this time, the flow is not a race, but a river. If you try to tightly control your mind, it will overflow. But if you give it space, it will carry wisdom in its own bed. Interesting ideas may come, and creative projects left unfinished in the past may come to life, but don't rush to bring them to life. These ideas are not just ideas, they are mental codes that are energetically realigning. First, you must hear them. You must listen. You must sit with them. Your mind is no longer just a tool, it is a channel through which your spirit flows. By June 30th, the process initiated by the new moon will have begun to settle in. But this settling is like a silent ceremony. No one will celebrate it. There will be no mark on the calendar, but you will know. The fatigue under your eyes will have diminished. A void at the edge of your heart will have been filled. Perhaps you are still in the same life, but you are no longer the same person. And this is the greatest change, one that is invisible from the outside, but transforms everything within. Perhaps the greatest thing you have learned in this cycle is this: feeling is not a risk, but a strength. Vulnerability is not a weakness, but a bridge. And transformation doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it's just a breath, a glance, a silence. The moon was born in the darkness, but it was to grow your inner light. Now that light is within you. It's invisible to the eye, but felt. As you walk, it spreads. As you silence, it deepens. And this state is not temporary. This is your new frequency. The new moon has passed, but the moon inside you is still new. And as you walk into July in this state, you are not alone. Together with thousands of souls who feel the same transition, you are in an invisible but powerful wave. That wave is now carrying you. The nights still feel a little longer before they fully darken. Time itself seems to be stretching. Nothing has stopped, but nothing has sped up either. This pause is the energetic void that opens up after the new moon. It's as if the universe is holding its breath before a new heartbeat, and you are holding it with it. Because spiritual transformation is not just about changing, it is about witnessing change. You are now a witness to yourself, to the process, to the void. This void is not frightening, not anymore, because you have learned the void is not a place where nothing exists. It is a place where everything is born. You are slowly getting used to your new frequency. This adjustment is not a decision, it is a vibration. Even though your mind still seeks old paths, your heart now recognizes new ones. The slight tension you feel as the sun rises is actually the way the light is restructuring you. The inner voices that emerge before you fall asleep at night are actually the echoes of your soul passing through the moon. While all this is happening, the outside world still seems the same. People are talking, the streets are crowded, the calendar is ticking. But your time has changed. You now live by an inner calendar. Your rhythm is different, your receiver is more sensitive. And now, as you approach July, you are preparing to welcome a new month with this new state of being. But this encounter is not a beginning, in the old sense. It is a deep continuation. It is not the continuity of a lifetime, but of a flow that progresses within a soul. You no longer want to set goals. You want to create space. You want intuition, not plans, to guide you. Because you now know. True direction emerges from silence. True decisions arise not from a thought, but from a frequency. And you have entered that frequency. You don't have to stay there, but you now recognize it. That alone is enough. This window of a few days that opened after the new moon has become your energetic legacy. Perhaps one day you won't remember these days in all their details, but your soul will remember. Perhaps it will resonate in a scent, in the middle of a song, in a sentence. You'll say, something happened there. You won't be able to name it, but your body will know. Your heart will silently approve, because this is not just a celestial event, it was the opening of an inner sky. You dared to look at that sky. You chose to find your way in that darkness. And now, as this process comes to an end, a sense of acceptance rather than closure is spreading from within you outward. You are closer to yourself, more open to the world. But you are not rushing anything, because you have understood. Nothing is escaping. Everything is simply shifting, and you are no longer chasing after what passes through you. You sit and listen. You speak with them. Sometimes you simply remain silent, but even that is a form of wholeness. Uncertainty is no longer an enemy, because uncertainty is another name for potential. July is approaching, and with it comes a new cycle. Brighter days, clearer directions, perhaps more obvious opportunities. But you are no longer walking toward an external rise, but toward an internal balance. This is a bigger, more solid path. The moon trained you in its darkness. Now it is leaving you with your own inner light. You now know how to walk with that light. With each step, you will feel a little lighter, a little more real. The movement in the heavens is complete, but the transformation within you has only just begun. This is no longer just a memory of a new moon. It is the gateway to a new frequency of life. You have passed through that door, Only one thing remains: gratitude. Quietly, with a deep breath, with that indescribable yet familiar feeling rising from within. Yes, I am here. I am ready. If you have come this far, something has already changed. Perhaps it has not been named, perhaps it has not been noticed from the outside, but a passage has opened within your inner structure. Now, you are about to walk through that passage toward July. But this walk is not a race. It is a preparation process. And this process evokes the rituals of old times. First, one pauses, then one cleanses, and then one sets an intention. And now, you are in the midst of this sacred preparation. The body is the first place where everything is recorded. That is why you must first align yourself with it. Before July, be gentle with your body for a few days. Avoid heavy foods, drink plenty of water, exercise, but don't push yourself too hard. In the morning, touch the water with intention as you wash your face. Just saying, "Today I choose myself," is enough, because the energy of your intention now affects physical reality. In this phase, simplicity is powerful. The soul prefers simplicity over complexity. When you wake up, try to stay silent for the first 10 minutes. Place your hand on your heart and breathe. It is not just life that is entering a new cycle, it is your vibration. That is why mornings are the greatest calibration space. Don't pick up your phone right away. Put the outside world on hold. Turn to yourself first. Ask yourself, what do I want to be open to today? Even if the answer doesn't come, the question itself is a door. When you dare to walk through that door, your soul will guide you. Create a small corner in your home, a small space that belongs only to you. A candle, a crystal, maybe a notebook, or just a glass of water. Sit there for a few minutes every morning. This is not meditation, but a reminder. In the midst of everything, it is time to connect with what is at your center. Call yourself back again and again. Because your energetic fragments are still unraveling from the old cycle. This call is the gentlest way to gather those fragments back together. Close the old chapters. Unfinished words in relationships, unkept promises, expectations. Release them from within. Even if you can't fully express something, write it down. Writing is very powerful in this process because it opens the door to the subconscious. As you write, every sentence you say, "I'm letting go now," not only leaves your mind, it leaves your space as well. You will feel the lightness. You may even feel a deep stretch after writing, because the release of energy is followed by physical relaxation. Create an intention to enter the new cycle. But this is not a goal. Let it be a feeling. Emotional vibrations like more peace, clearer intuition, stronger center. Every moment you live with this vibration pulls you into your own spiritual time. And there, time works differently. What is there is what is meant to be. Remember, this preparation is not a task. It is an opportunity given to you. Such a deep threshold does not open every month. This new moon did not just initiate transformation, it gave birth to a new you. Now you are learning to recognize the needs of this new you. Perhaps you want to speak less, perhaps you are drawn to nature, perhaps old friendships are beginning to wear you down. All of these are signs. The Spirit is guiding the way for you. All you need to do is listen and respect. And now, when you come to this writing, you have witnessed not the end of a journey, but the conscious closing of a cycle. You will now step into a new page, but this time without carrying the past. The moon's dark phase has illuminated your inner self. Silence has whispered the truth to you. The path is now clear, and you are ready. Close your eyes slowly, take a deep breath, and whisper to yourself, "I am here." With this new self, I am moving forward slowly, deeply and consciously. The time is now. The place is here. Guidance is within me. And now you know. This is only the beginning. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.